Have you ever had a big idea, like a life-changing, dream-level idea, only for your own brain to respond with, "Yeah, let's not do that"? Maybe you wanted to start a business, get in shape, or learn something new, and instead of feeling excited, you felt this weird resistance. Suddenly, your mind starts coming up with a million reasons why it's a bad idea. What if I fail? I'm not talented enough. This is too risky. Let's just stay where it's safe. And just like that, you give up before you even start. Sound familiar? Congratulations. You've just met one of the greatest enemies of human potential. Your own mind. See, your mind loves keeping you average. Not because it hates you, but because it thinks it's protecting you. And believe it or not, the Bhagavad Gita has a lot to say about this. Let me explain. In the Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, the mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. And let's be honest, most of the time, it's the second one. It's like having an overprotective parent inside your head, constantly warning you about all the things that could go wrong. And why does it do this? Because the mind is wired for survival, not greatness. Think about it. Back in the day, when humans were running from wild animals and trying not to starve, playing it safe was a good thing. If one of your ancestors got a crazy idea like, "Hey, what if I go explore that dark cave alone?" chances are, he never made it back. So, over time, the mind evolved to avoid danger, risk, and anything unfamiliar. And here's the problem. Your mind still operates like this, even though your biggest threat today is probably just an awkward social situation or a disappointing Wi-Fi signal. So when you try to break out of your comfort zone, your mind panics. It doesn't care that starting a business or improving yourself could lead to success. It just sees change as dangerous. And what's the safest place to be? Right in the middle. Average. But here's where it gets interesting. The Bhagavad Gita doesn't just diagnose the problem. It gives you the solution. Krishna tells Arjuna that true growth comes from mastering the mind, not obeying it blindly. He says, a person who has conquered the mind finds peace. In other words, if you want to rise above mediocrity, you have to stop letting your mind run the show. Now, how do you do that? First, you need to recognize when your mind is trying to pull you back to average. And trust me, it's sneaky. It won't just say, "Don't chase your dreams." It'll disguise itself as rationality. It'll whisper things like, "Maybe this isn't the right time," or "You're just being unrealistic." But here's the trick. If your mind is constantly talking you out of things that could improve your life, it's not being logical. It's being scared. The second thing you need to do is act before your mind talks you out of it. Ever notice that the longer you sit around thinking about doing something, the harder it gets to actually do it? That's because your mind is building resistance in real time. But if you act before the excuses pile up, you bypass that resistance completely. Krishna calls this detachment from the results. He tells Arjuna, "You have the right to perform your duty, but never to the fruits of your actions." Meaning, just do the thing. Don't overthink. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start, and the mind will adjust. And finally, you need to realize that growth is supposed to feel uncomfortable. This is a big one. Most people quit the moment they feel discomfort because they assume something is wrong. But the Gita flips this thinking on its head. Krishna says that the greatest warriors are the ones who move forward despite fear, discomfort, and uncertainty. So the next time your mind tries to keep you stuck, remind yourself, it's just doing its job. But your job is to rise above it, to think bigger, to step beyond what feels safe. Because if you let your mind control your life, you'll always stay where it's comfortable. And nothing great ever happens in the comfort zone. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next life-changing deep dive. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.